Welcome back. I have Abby here with me. And we're going to be working more with squares of numbers. Square numbers are so much fun to work with, and there's so many things that you can do. So today I want to talk about what happens when we start with one square and try to transform it into another square using materials. And so let's go ahead and change our view. Okay, so now you can see our workspace as well. And we're going to start with this square. Can you tell me what this is?
The 3 square.
This is the 3 square. We're going to start with the 3 square, and we want to do what we need to do to transform it into a 4 square. Okay?
Okay.
So what we need to do is we need to find out what we need to add to our 3 square to make it like a 4 square. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the 3 square on top of the 4 square. I'm trying to find where it's the best for the camera to see. I'm going to set it on top just like that. And you can see that it doesn't quite cover the whole thing. It's really hard to balance them because they're round beads. Okay, so you can see that we're missing something on this side and we're missing something on this side. So let me see, what would happen if I were to add a 4th row of 3? Has that covered up more of our space? Has it covered up all of our space? No, because we still have this road of yellow down here. So what if I put another row of 3 down here? It won't sit on there. So I'm going to set it off, but you can imagine. What if I put this other row of 3 down here? Do I now have a square of 4? Not yet. It's not quite a square yet. What's missing, Abby?
1.
Can you point to what you mean? Yes, we're missing the 1 right there. So it would go right in the corner. So when we have the 3 square and we want to transform it into the 4 square, we have to add a 3 by 1 and a 3 by 1 and a 1 to make it equal to the 4 square. Let's show what this looks like on paper. So we're starting with our 3 square. And we're adding a 3 times 1. I didn't need to, well, yeah, it's okay that I put parentheses around it. And we're adding this one, 3 times 1. And we're adding this. What was this?
1 unit.
It's the 1 square. My paper's not big enough. Let me flip it over and try again. The 3 square plus 3 times 1 plus 3 times 1 plus the 1 square. See how it's a square? It's the square of 1. And this should equal our 4 square. Let's see. What is 3 squared? 3 times 3.
9.
What is 3 times 1?
3.
What's 3 times 1?
3.
What's 1 squared?
1.
What's 9 plus 3?
12.
Plus 3 more?
15.
Plus 1 more?
16.
So this equaled 16. Does that equal the 4 square? 4 times 4? Yay, we did it right. We transformed the 3 square into the 4 square by adding a 3 times 1 on both sides and a 1 square. Shall we do another one? Okay. You put those bead bars back. Okay. This time, let's go from the 6 square to the 7 square. Okay. We have 6 across on our 6 square, but we have 7 across on our 7 square. So we need 1 more here. Can you get me a 6? So now we have 7 rows of 6. Oh, you already know what we need to put in there. We need to have a 7th row of 6 in this direction. But we're missing something right down here. To make it a square, we need to add this unit. It's really hard to get them all to balance in one place. There it is. So we had the 6 square, and we added some things on to make it into the 7 square. Let's do the math. We have the 6 square, plus, what do we have?
6. Oh, no. 6 times 1.
6 times 1 plus another 6 times 1 plus the 1 square. Let's do the math. What's 6 times 6?
36.
6 times 1?
6.
6 times 1?
6.
1 squared.
1.
Okay, let's add up our units first. 6
18.
plus 1.
19.
Put a 9. 1 in our mind plus 3.
4.
49. Does that equal 7 squared?
Yes.
Yes, we did it. That wasn't tricky, was it? So that is how you pass from a 1 square to the next square. We I'm mixing up my words from the different lessons. We pass from 1 square to the next square. In your next lesson, we're going to pass from 1 square to a different square, but not the one that's next to it. So before we do that, I want to show you how to record your passing from 1 square to the next square in your journal. So in your journal on your next page, after what were we doing last time? Trinomials. After trinomials, you'll have a place to put passing from 1 square to another. I'm going to fix that. When I title my page, I always like to capitalize all of my words because it's like a title. Passing from 1 square to another. So what we're going to do is you can use one of the examples we did together, or you can do your own. But on your own, you're going to have to do a couple. So you can copy one of ours. Here's my 3 square. I started with my 3 square, and I was trying to transform it into the 4 square. To this, I needed to add some things to it. I needed to add a 3 times 1 and a 3 times 1 and the 1 square. It took all of these pieces to equal this one. And the math, remember the math looked like this. The math was 3 squared. Here. I'm going to move the math over next to our equation. We had 3 squared plus 3 times 1 plus 3 times 1 plus 1 squared. We solved that. 9 plus 3 plus 3 plus 1. And we found that that equaled 16. And we were checking to see if it equaled our 4 by 4 square. And the 4 by 4 square equaled 16. So it worked. Okay, so when you do your own, you're going to draw the square you start with, plus the parts you need to add to it. Show me your math, and then the square that you pass to. You pass to from the 3 square to the 4 square. Okay, now let's do another one, or you're going to do another one. So you'll do one in this space right here. We're not going to do that one together. What we're going to do is we're going to do one together down here at the bottom. No, you're going to do 2 more. This is the one we did together. You're going to do 1 there, and you're going to do 1 there. I want you to do 3. You can use the same example that we did together and 2 more for your passing from 1 square to another square. I hope that you enjoyed this lesson. It's just more like what we've been doing, transforming a square with the rubber bands and looking at the parts. But this time we're doing it on graph paper a different way. Same work, just a different way. Okay, see you next time.